Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we're going to take a look at another legend team here. It's going to be most likely the last legend team for now. Of course, for like when the Remix Cup is coming back and stuff like this. For the Great League there might be some more. Maybe I'm also going to do even more than before. I don't know. Like there's a lot of legend teams recently. Yeah, anyway, we're going to have a legend team here from a Japanese player, I think. I don't really know how to say the name, so I'm just going to leave it, but you saw it or see it on the screen. You must say saw it already on the screen anyway. But yeah, we're going to have a team here with the Shadow Quagsire, we're going to have the Shadow Magnezone, and we're going to have the Serperior. And I kind of did not really want to cover more legend teams because most of them were kind of similar. This one was different, and that's kind of why I wanted to cover this one, because none of the three Pokemon I have seen recently a lot. Magnezone, I guess the most popular one. There was a phase where Quagsire got a little bit more love, especially in the beginning of the season when Whiscash got the nerf basically. But none of those Pokemon we have currently on the team, especially the Serperior, saw any kind of play recently. And so I was kind of curious if this team has any play at all. And I have to say, it definitely does. I went 7-4 with this team, which is really cool. So yeah, very cool team for sure. Worked out super well. Got, I think it's over 60%. I think it's over 60% of a win rate with it as well. And so we can move on to the next opponent. Great lead for us. We're going to have coverage with Stone Edge against the opponent's Charjabug, which is going to be lovely here. They're going to outspeed me in the beginning because they only need 6 of my fast moves basically to get to their first move. But look at this. Azumarill is so common, which also, like, I made a video about Azumarill yesterday as well. So definitely check out that video. Also, stay tuned for the video later on. Later on, it's going to be not a legend video, but it's going to be a video about a Pokemon that I got a 10-game win streak with that nobody is really playing anymore. But definitely check out the video, and definitely feel free to leave a like and subscribe to the channel as well if you enjoy those videos, as you're going to be able to knock out that Azumarill. In comes the Gligar. I decided to go ahead and go for the Aerial A switch in hindsight. Maybe it was a little bit of a mistake because the opponent let the move go through, but at least I can still go ahead and go into my Quagsire, go for one charge move, gonna get the shield. I can go for another charge move, gonna get most likely another shield from the opponent. And we're going to be in a great spot now, as I can just stay in, use a shield as well. The opponent should need to swap out before they can go for another one, I think. And actually they can get to another one by overfarm by a little bit. They're definitely in range at this point for one wild charge, which is cool as well. They swap out into the Charjabug. We can one-shot them with one Stone Edge for sure. And so Quagsire is going to be able to go for another Awkward Tail. And this should be enough to knock out the opponent. We can win this battle. Next opponent, we're going to have a Skarmory here in the lead, which is going to be quite a nice one for us. We're going to have actually a Shadow Skarmory as well, which maybe impacts the battle a little bit. I think now one Awkward Tail and one Stone Edge is enough to knock them out. And yeah, it looks exactly like this, so that's going to be kind of fine. But we're going to use a shield here anyway. They might want to swap. If they want to swap, it's totally fine as well, because we have another answer as well, so we don't have to align ourselves. Here I make a huge mistake. I should have not went into my Serperior in the first place, should have went into my Magnezone. And also make another mistake because I expect the opponent to go ahead and use a shield here on a very hard-hitting Frenzy Plant. I decided to go for the bait, and this was not needed as I would have gotten 2 moves anyway. And yeah, that was kind of silly. Like I was just really expecting the opponent to use a shield, but they didn't, and so we are in a very tough spot. While we actually had a great matchup itself, I just misplayed this one quite a bit. So let's see if we're going to lose against this opponent as well. They can still go for another charge move. I should be able to still survive one with our Magnezone. Hydro Cannon coming through, and it's going to be in the back. That Swampert, we can go for a Wild Charge, which would do quite some nice damage as well, as the opponent is going to knock me out. We have quite a lot of energy, and yes, this is not really looking too good for us, but honestly, if I went into the right Pokemon, I would have won this battle. If I played it correctly, I would have won this battle. I just misplayed this one quite a bit, and they saw I with 1 HP, which is also super unlucky, but it is what it is. Like, at the end of the day, I could have easily won this one even without, like, that range there. Next opponent, we're going to have the Annihilape in the lead. This is, like, kind of my nemesis for this team. Like, this Pokemon can be a little bit tricky. A lot of people are just going to go for the night slash spam for this Pokemon anyway. And so we decided to use a shield. It is going to be that Night Slash, and that is going to be kind of sad. as yeah, it's a guessing game. If the opponent goes for Night Slash, it's the best for you to actually no shield, because then you're gonna get a win in the 0 shield scenario. If they want to play out the 2 shield scenario with Night Slash, you're always going to lose that matchup. So it is always kind of a little bit awkward for you. It's kind of nice that you can outspeed the opponent though, which is quite nice with the Quagsire. But again, like if you let the first Night Slash go through and the opponent just goes for that, you're going to be able to still survive it and actually get an advantage. While here, as you can see, 2 shield scenario, you're not going to be able to get any advantage. But the opponent swaps onto Dugong. That is quite nice for us, as we can go for a charge move with our Serperior, get them quite low, and we will be able to swap out now into the Magnezone onto the Icy Wind. Of course, a little bit risky if they would go for the other move, the ground type move, Drill Run, but like nobody would do it there anyway in this point, so it is going to be a quite nice matchup for me. In comes again that Annihilape. They should be able to knock me out, but now it comes down to our final Pokemon, that Serperior, and luckily they're going to have a Carbink in the bag. And unlike Bastion, which I actually was expecting in the back here, Carbink is going to be weak to the grass typing, and with this it's going to get 2-shot by a Frenzy Plant, which is just lovely, and we can win this battle. Next opponent coming through, we're going to have a double Quag line here. Quag on the lead, Quagga for the lead basically for both players, which is kind of funny. Here it kind of depends on who wins the CMP type, but also you can play it a little bit differently, I guess. I don't know. Like the thing is here, if you're going to be able to align your grass type later on, would be kind of nice, but they swap onto the Cresselia. And maybe I make a little bit of a mistake, maybe, I don't know. Like for me, I thought the best play here that I can go for is just overfarm up to like where the opponent would get to a grass knot, then swap on to my Magnezone, catch the move, because everything is going to be resisted, even the Moonblast. But Moonblast is already so much damage that I was like, yeah, I kind of don't really want to risk anything anymore. And so I go straight for the Wild Charge, with they survive with a 1 HP in a Dream, and they can still go for a charge move when they can align themselves. And this is actually quite annoying, because if I would have been able to align myself, I would have been able to have the Serperior against the opponent's Quagsire. Like this, I am going to be able to go for some charge moves with my own Quagsire, but they actually still survive it, which I did not really expect. And also I'm going to be forced to use a shield here, because it's very likely that it is better for us to keep our Quagsire around. And I was correct with that. Look at this, what they have in the back. It is going to be that Typhlosion. And so, yeah, while I would have been able to still survive one more there, I kind of want to swap out to catch maybe even a potential Thunder Punch. I would have actually expected the opponent to go for a Thunder Punch just to force knockout before I can go for any more charge moves. But apparently that's not the case. We can still go for an Aerial Ace, which is again a little bit of a mistake maybe, because if I went for the Frenzy Plant, it would have done a little more damage, and so we decided to forfeit this battle as the opponent places quite well. Next opponent, we're going to have the Annihilape on the lead. This is going to be a fairly neutral matchup as we saw before. This time around, maybe we're going to no-shield the first move. If they go for the Night Slash, we're at least going to get a great advantage with that. Let's see. You're going to decide to go for the no-shield, and of course the opponent goes for the Shadow Ball. Like, what the hell? Like, we had literally like this matchup before. The opponent always went for Night Slash to guarantee the second matchup there, to always in the 2-shield scenario basically. But this opponent did not, and so we're going to be forced to go into our Serperior. Look at our health, look what they have in the bag with the Skarmory. But they're going to swap on now to a Lantern. I decided to go for the bait no matter what, and this is actually quite impactful, because what we see here now is we're going to get the attack drop onto the opponent's Lantern, and this is going to change quite everything there. We're going to be able to go for another charge move, doesn't get any kind of attack drop, but it's kind of important to keep our energy together, because we really need to get rid of the opponent's Lantern here, and so I decided to go for the Wild Charge. This is going to be able to get the shield from the opponent. They are shieldless now. I could knock them out here, but I don't want to knock them out. I want them to go for another charge move, which they do, and now I can swap out, knock them out with a Frenzy Plant. We still have a Wild Charge stored. I guarantee winning the CMP tie against the Skarmory, and we should be in a great spot. I don't even go for a charge move anymore, because I know Wild Charge is all it takes to knock them out anyway. It's just a waste of time for myself at least to go for a charge move here. They decide to go for the Sky Attack. I can go for the Wild Charge, and this is going to be it for this battle. Next opponent, let's take a look what they're going to run here. It is going to be the Swampert in the lead. Fairly neutral matchup, but you're going to be able to outspeed them with the Awkward Tail, which is kind of cool, because they always kind of need like one extra fast move. We're going to be able to go for that Awkward Tail. But here's the thing as well for this team. I encountered so many Water and Ground type Pokemon, but all of them were basically in the lead. So I barely was able really to align myself with a Serperior. And that's something that kind of definitely happened for me as well. While I went way positive with this team on like a 7-4 run, it was quite a lot of times a little bit awkward to align your Pokemon. And so, yeah, here we're going to be able to still go for that awkward tail against the opponent, going to be able to knock them out, but we're going to be one shield down. But let's see how long this is going to last. As the opponent is going to go into the Skarmory, we can go for the awkward tail. This is going to get the shield back, and so we're in a great spot, especially as you can see in P-tie here, with the awkward tail coming through, while the opponent very likely just going to go for that, I don't know, maybe they actually even go for a Brave Bird here. They actually do, because I think that Skytech would have not been enough damage. In comes a Gligar. I can just swap out of here with keeping the energy. And so the opponent decides to go ahead and go for the Aerial Ace, doing quite some nice damage. I decided to go for my own Aerial Ace as well. Well, of course, Frenzy Plant is doing more damage. The only thing that I kind of want to do here is I kind of want to put them into a range where the Wild Charge is going to be enough to knock them out. And as you're gonna see here, the opponent is going to go ahead and kind of go down here after that Wild Charge. Bye-bye there. And we will see again the Skarmory coming in. I should be able to outspeed them. It's going to be a CMP tie, and we will be able to easily win this battle like that. And we can move on to the next opponent. Next opponent, we're going to encounter Lickitung in the lead. Quite an awkward one for us, because the opponent has access to the move Power Whip, which is double super effective, so we have to be a little bit careful here. Maybe we can try to catch a move, but the opponent goes for a charge move straight away here, kinda, and I was a little bit scared, so I decided to use a shield. It's going to be just a body slam, as we can reach out for that awkward tail. I don't want to go for Stone Edge, because Awkward Tail is stab, and while Stone Edge might be a little bit of a better move in general, we are just going to be better off to just spam those moves, I feel like, because the opponent gets one free fast move in all the time as well, only, which is not really a lot. And so, yeah, we're going to be able to just go ahead and go for that spam. The opponent goes for another charge move, which we can catch onto our Magnezone, which is going to be able to take that move quite well. In comes Gligar, and as I saw before as well, Gligar is not a great answer against that Magnezone, because Magnezone still hits so hard, it's all kind of neutral, and what we will see here as well, the opponent is gonna go ahead and go for that dig. I can use a shield, and I can also go ahead and go for another Mirror Shot here. Mirror Shot should be able to hopefully maybe even get the shield again. It does get the shield. We're going to be forced to let the move go through. The dig is going to knock me out now, but that is not a dig. That's going to be just the Aerial Ace, which is going to be great. In comes the opponent's Shadow Venusaur. I don't get the debuff here, which is actually quite annoying, because if I got the debuff, I would have been able to just go for a back-to-back Aerial Ace here, which would have allowed me to guarantee to win the battle. But I guess like 33% chance to only get the debuff, I think. And like this, the opponent can actually go for the full farm down, which is an issue for sure. I decide to stay in here with that Magnezone, as they're gonna go ahead and go for their own charge move to knock me out. And now, sadly, while I will be able to knock them out with my Quagsire, our health is already so low from the Quagsire that we're sadly going to still win the battle. So this is going to be it for this game here. Goodbye Gligar, and we can move on to the next opponent. Cresselia in the lead is going to be a Pokemon that I don't like again. Like, I kind of want to swap out eventually. I'm gonna try to catch a move here, as we are going to be able to do that. Let's see what the opponent goes for. They decide to go for the future side, which is totally fine for us, as they are swapping into a Lickitung. We kind of want to get rid of this Pokemon, so we decide to go ahead and go for that big Wild Charge, getting the shield from them. We are trying to go for another move here as well with that Mirror Shot. Mirror Shot is coming through, is going to get the shield as well, and so now we have 2 shield advantage, which is kind of important for us as well, and we can go into our Serperior, which is going to take some, a little bit annoying damage here from the opponent, but we're going to be able to just use another shield here, which is going to be another body slam that comes our way. Anyway, Frenzy Plant should do quite a lot of damage, kind of put them into farm down range most likely for us here, but as we will see, I rather decide to swap out into my Quagsire. Quagsire is going to be able to knock out the Lickitung, and now all the energy that they had is gone. We have a 2-0 shield advantage, and in the back is of course still that Cresselia lurking. I am going to invest all my shields onto this Pokemon here, by the way, because I feel like this is going to be the best bet of playing this matchup. But as you can see here, the opponent decides to just go for the Grasslands all the time. They can be as bulky as they kind of want, but we can go for one charge move here with that Awkward Tail. But not only this, we are also going to be able to go for another one, which is just quite lovely. And so we are going to be able to now knock out that Cresselia. In the back is going to be a Carbink, as we saw before. This is kind of an easy game to go for, and so this is going to be also it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, feel free to leave a like. Again, a very good legend team for sure. Link towards the player who created this is going to be down in the description as well. And yeah, thanks all for watching. We're going to be able to just now finish up the battle here. And yeah, I see you the next time. Bye bye.